Hello, I'm Rob Boss. Today we're going to be painting some of our equipment together. I'd be very happy for you to join me. But I want you to remember, there are no mistakes. There's only happy reflections of reality.
Oh, reality, okay. You want to talk about reality? It's called DEWs, direct energy weapons. Millions, billions, trillions of dollars funneled into DARPA and CERN, the particle accelerator, all taken down by a normal guy with a $6 can of blue spray paint. That's all it takes.
I don't know if that's right, Drew.
2023, Oprah, Maui, Google it. The second thing that pops up, click it. It's all there.
Guys, today we are going to be painting, wrapping, and covering all kinds of different equipment, from e-bikes that's getting spray painted, tripods, bipods, and rifles, even backpacks, chest rigs, the whole gamut. We have a lot of painting to do, covering and camouflaging, and to be honest, we're just gonna bring you along with us.
So for the paint that we're using, the good old-fashioned Rust-Oleum camo paint that you can pick up at Walmart for, I think, like 4 to 5 bucks a pop. We've been using this stuff for years. It's great. It's even great under night vision if you're concerned about that kind of thing. We've got one of every different kind of color in this camo series from Rust-Oleum, but we've also got some more specialty paint. So this right here is from Rapco. This particular kind of spray paint is approved for US military use as far as painting vehicles, tanks, trucks, anything like that. We've got several different variations of FDE and greens here. But we wanted to try this out because this is like the official approved paint. It's also a little bit more expensive than the other stuff.
In case you don't make it to the very end of this video, we want to start by explaining something about painting rifles or gear in general. And this may not be true for everyone else, but this is what happened to me the first time that I painted my own gun. I remember it vividly. I can still mentally go there because of what happened to how I view these kinds of tools when I painted that first gun. You see, I grew up in a family that had dad's and grandpa's old hunting rifles, and that was super cool. And then all black ARs were awesome, but they were sporting rifles. If you think about why guns are actually painted, they're not really painted because a coyote might see you. They're painted because a human being might see you. Let's just be honest about it. Now, while they look really, really cool, the militarized or militaristic style rifle, even if it is a gun like this that could be a hunting or a PRS gun, as soon as you apply paint and scrim and foliage to it, now something changes. At least it does for me. My opinion of this rifle is that this is a war-fighting tool. It's still a tool, it's the exact same gun. It's not any more or less accurate than it was before, but I view this differently. And so does someone else who sees me take this to the range and have a nice conversation with them. When my kids grow up shooting guns like this for the first time, the opinion is more Second Amendment oriented and less hobbyist oriented. So jump in the comments if you've had the same experience when painting your guns or your own kit. Do you as well recognize that, yeah, now this feels a little bit more militaristic and thus Second Amendment style, or is that just me?
So for the e-bike, I'm just kind of taping off some stuff that has some writing on it, like the compression, my preload, probably my little ignition area, or my key, my starter, whatever you want to call that. But other than that, I'm just going to spray paint the heck out of this thing. Just a little bit of prep work goes a long way. So thinking about this season we're getting ready to head into, it's getting ready to turn into summertime, and it's going to be super green, though in the woods it still stays very brown. So I'm going to start with a base layer of tan across this entire thing, let it sit for a bit, and then hit it with some accents, and we'll see how it turns out. Someone's going to talk about my thumb grip. Can't help it. It feels better, man. It's those gamer thumbs, you know? I didn't pressure wash this or anything. In fact, I just got back from ripping it around. I'm fine with there being dirt on it as I'm putting paint on it, because as it flakes off, it'll still look great. So I'm not super worried about that. Josh said I should upgrade the rims with some spray paint, so I guess we're going to. Oh, hit the chain. Is that gonna do anything?
I say no like I know. No, think about
I guess we'll find out, won't we?
Think about how much dirt and grime gets in there, man.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, that's true.
If you're wondering how much a fresh can of spray paint will actually go. How much paint do you have in there?
So quite a bit.
The whole e-bike.
Next, let's start hitting it with some green accents. As this thing wears, we're gonna get black accents naturally, so I'm not too worried about that. This is the flat, deep forest green. We're not saving dad advice till the end of the video. We'll just give it to you right now. Don't spray paint into the wind. Just in case someone sees the inside of my, almost said prop guards because I've been flying FPV so much. What are these called?
Oh, bark busters.
Bark busters, there you go. Yeah, just in case someone sees me from behind, is spotting me from behind and, you know, managed to not see me on the bike, but they see the bark busters. We gotta camouflage that. All right, we're gonna add in some flat army green. This is a little bit lighter, more like grass. I got jealous of Josh's lusterless khaki olive drab, and I want to see what it looks like here. Oh, dude, oh yeah. I like that better than that light brown, or that light green. It's kind of muddy.
You guys know why Bob Ross was so chill? Probably because he served 20 years in the Air Force, even went on to drop bombs in the Vietnam War. He was a test pilot for aircraft, and while this is not a historical look at Bob Ross, I bet you he may have had a little bit of experience with night vision, because we sure enough had night vision back then. Guys, this video is brought to you by Steel Industries. Steel Industries is our go-to company when it comes to nods. If you want to have that power like Bob Ross, being able to see in the dark, can't teach you how to fly an airplane, but you can absolutely have that superpower of seeing in the dark. So go check out Steel Industries. There is a discount in the description. And next, guys, we have Wetworks. Wetworks offers a whole list of things that we've actually shown and demonstrated here in the video, from scrim on your helmets to this chest rig, one of my new favorites, a split rig. You can add a whole bunch of pouches either from his website or some of your other favorites, as well as one of my new favorite things, which is a very simple connection to stow my night vision and ensure that they're not going to take a dive. So go check out Wetworks if you're interested in picking up some of the stuff that you've seen here in this video. Again, link is in the description.
So maybe direct energy weapons are not a pertinent threat, but you know what it is, especially with me ripping around that e-bike? Water, moisture. Whenever I'm out ripping on that bike, I like to keep everything in a bag, especially like my night vision, things like that, in a dry bag, which is just a good practice for camping in general. So I have just picked up one of these silent dry bags. It's also a Faraday bag, so it kind of does, you know, 2-in-1, but I've not painted it yet. These guys make some of the best stuff in terms of Faraday bags and dry bags, very high quality. I'm just camouflaging a little bit right now because, quite frankly, I want to be taking this out into the field with me a lot, replacing my old, nasty, worn out dry bags. So if you're in the market for a dry bag, that's also a Faraday bag, which is awesome for protecting against water and any sort of electronic damage, or even just protecting your own, you know, your own data and your own equipment. Hit up silent. There's a discount in the description for you guys. We get no kickback from it. Enjoy it.
Just like painting a house, it's all in the prep work, man. And you can always come back and hit it with acetone if you're like, I forgot to tape off, you know, my top turret, and I don't know what 2.2 mils is or something like that, but it's nice to not have to throw a ton of acetone on your gun if you can help it. Fancy paints, gonna do the lusterless khaki olive drab. Khaki olive drab. It sounds like two different colors, but we'll see. Oh, wow.
That is awesome.
That's an amazing color. I kind of expected that to be more khaki than OD. It's swirling out here, dog. It's like a green RAL 8000. You know the HK RAL? It's like a super baby poop tan. This is like a super baby poop green. Watch your lens. Back to Rust-Oleum flat khaki. Back to the original color since it kind of got a light dusting. And I like how dark but not black this is. And I'm just gonna add some lines to some of this. That color on my rifle, or like that color on my bike, that's what gets us excited now. Not like new bolt carrier group, or like this muzzle device shoots the gun so flat. Like, no, you just suck, shoot a gun good. But like the paint, bro. LARPing for real, dog. Dude, I know people hate on the SIG Cross, but we shot that PRS match with it, and I performed better than I expected. The gun still shot better than I did. And it is a very lightweight, foldable stock. You have ARC on the bottom. You have M-LOK accessories available. Still a 1,000-yard, 1,200-yard gun. All right, guys, final accessories and little touch-up things to do after you've already painted your gun or some other gear. So the first one is I like to witness mark the majority of the things that I add on to a rifle. I want to know if something is loosening up before it actually falls off. And that's where you'll take a paint pen and come over here to a screw. So this little M-LOK slot for a sling, and I'm going to take a paint pen and just witness mark. Now I'll know if that screw backs off at all. Do this to the other side as well. And I'll touch that on my optic. I'll throw that on lights or lasers, anything that might walk off. Again, I want to know about it just by visualizing, as opposed to, oh, my sling fell off, now my gun dropped, and there's a big problem.
All right, so tripods and bipods. Actually, do we even have any bipods out here? No, they're all tripods. So here's the thing. We're painting these out in the field of green, right? So they're gonna kind of pop whenever you're standing in grass. The thing is we're not gonna be setting these up in an open field of grass. We're gonna be setting them up in the sticks. So we're gonna paint them to look like sticks. Okay, so this one we did a darker base color and then we hit it with light accents. So, you know, if we're in a darker place, which honestly, this one is probably best for like Kentucky, Tennessee in the summer. But we also did light base, so a light sand base with some accents in the darker green. Having some like mesh stuff like this is super valuable. You can get stuff like this from like portable hampers from Walmart. Where'd you get this, Josh?
You got it. I brought that.
This is mine?
Yeah.
Oh, I've been trying to find it.
Oh, I've had it. I have it. I'll get that back to you.
Okay, thanks. So yeah, these are great. You can also just pull some leaves off of a tree or grab a big old handful of grass, hold it up and hit it. I know we showed that method in our last spray paint video, and for guns, that's kind of like my favorite way. This is not, you know, this is a cool pattern. It breaks everything up, but it doesn't really do that much. I mean, if someone scoped in on you, they're not going to be like, oh, look at that hamper netting mesh like outline there. Like, no, they're not. It just looks cool. Okay, so painting kit, especially nylon. Nylon is interesting because it can absorb a lot of spray paint before you notice any difference. If you notice, a lot of the stuff that we're painting today is coyote or FDE, whatever you want to call it. And that is because it's the closest to white, if that makes sense. If you're having to repaint a room that's, let's say, blue, it helps to put a base coat of white on it to stick, and then you paint over the white. That way the final color shows a little bit more. Coyote is a great base color, which is awesome because coyote kit is typically very accessible and very cheap. And so it will, a lot of times, if there's like something that we want a specific color of, like let's say this this combat hoodie, right? The summer combat hoodie from Wetworks. Let's say we wanted a multicam one, but the multicam one wasn't in stock. Well, we can just order the coyote version and then spray paint it. Same thing for packs, same thing for chest rigs, same thing for all the little pouches. It goes a long way to make things easier to spray paint. So Josh has a chest rig he's gonna paint. We're also gonna paint this summer combat hoodie from Wetworks, and then this new Vertex pack that they just came out with. These are the Siege packs. This is one of the minis, and I use this for a drone pack. So I'm gonna add a tasteful amount of spray paint camouflage to this, just so whenever I'm LARPing, it looks cooler.
as that dries and gets dirty and dusty, you'll lose some of that super dark coloring.
Another option is obviously to just use your gear, get it dirty, get it nasty. You know, multicam looks better after you've worn it for like a year because it starts to sun dry out a little bit and also gets mud and stuff on it. That's another reason why it's, you know, don't wash your stuff, because it actually looks better and blends better once it's well used. So you can always add in dirt, mud, that kind of stuff. This is also a good point to talk about mismatched gear. I know whenever I hop on Spiritus and I want to buy a whole new chest rig and everything, I want all the pouches to match, right? The truth of the matter is that if you have multi different kinds of camouflage on your chest rig or something because of the pouches, it actually does a great job of breaking up the outline of whatever it is. One of my favorite kits is Eric from Barrel and Hatchets. His Wetworks rig is a blend of multicam and tiger stripe, and it looks phenomenal. Now, back in the day, that would have driven me crazy. It would have, like, you know, procced that OCD in me. But the fact of the matter is when you're out in the field, mix-match gear actually looks pretty darn good. The combat hoodie definitely breaks up some of that solid FDE coyote color. I hit each of these items with the same kind of spray paint and the same colors, so theoretically they should all blend really well together. So if you match those colors to your environment, you should be good. Oh man, we're really LARPing. There's no mags and there's no plates in this. Gosh, I would, you know, 10 years ago I would have ripped someone a new one on Instagram for doing that. How's that look?
Probably would have been me.
Probably would have been you, Josh.
That's way better than just flat coyote.
All right. Not bad, right?
Not bad.
Not bad. It's that simple. You don't have to buy super fancy camouflages. Although, I still do.
Another thing you may have noticed while we were doing these tripods is we have added hair ties, which are just a little bit stronger than rubber bands. And we have these on our handguards, on rifles, on tripod legs. And the reason for that is because they're not a problem if they just hang out and they're not in use, but it is really, really easy to add foliage to something like a tripod. Now you're starting to not just break up the outline of the tripod, but as you stand behind it, you're masking some of your shape, shine, shadow, sound, whatever combination of stuff you're worried about very, very easily. All right, now maybe you're like me and you don't like spending a whole ton of money for just simple scrim that you can honestly DIY yourself. This is a DACA pouch that I keep around for that exact thing. So on top, I have shears that I can use to prune any of the foliage around me and shove it into my helmet, a backpack, or whatever. I have an extra helmet cover in multicam in case a buddy needs one. And then I've got burlap on 550 cord and shot cord, and this stuff does an amazing job. I have extra bungees that I can wrap around a handguard or an optic if need be. I have a couple of these in different colors, but this is just athletic tape that you can wrap around a rifle in order to add a color, or honestly, it could even go around your arms, a plate carrier, anything that you need. So you don't have to go spend a whole ton of money just to have scrim or breaking up some of these outlines. You can make a DACA pouch with some burlap and shot cord. All right, next, again, we've gotten kind of crazy on painting things. Yeah, you could paint your night vision as an example, but you could also wrap items. There's a lot of companies out there that do good quality wraps. So here's Drew's dual tubes from Steel Industries that have a multicam wrap on them, and in the daytime, you just don't have two big black blobs sitting way up here above your head bouncing around, you at least have a little bit of color to break up some of that shape too. So if you're worried about painting something, because yeah, you may have a resale value concern, you could totally wrap it, and it's gonna cost a little more than paint, but you could always pull it back off. But there are a few things that we're gonna be careful to not slam paint onto. A great example would be something like a gas mask. So these Avon masks are rated, I mean, the military has been using them for years, and they're supposed to filter out and protect you from wild amounts of heavy chemicals in the air. But you know, LARPing's really cool. I would rather preserve the quality of the rubber on this mask and whatever it's built to however it's built to actually protect me, and just leave it black as opposed to forcing paint on here and maybe causing some long-term damage to all the seals and everything else that's on here. On the other hand, what I am going to do is paint the bag that those masks come with. Just because this is a large black cube, I would rather have this be like a tan or a green. I'm just gonna protect the rubber on the mask itself. And just like how we can do wraps, you can also go buy Scrim. Now, Scrim may be a really good choice for something like a helmet. In case you're LARPing a bunch or you're going to Milsim West or American Milsim, and you want to be able to have different colors for your helmets as a team identifier. Now, something like this multicam cover going over my helmet still offers a really round shape, and it looks a lot like a helmet. If you get some Scrim, like again, this one from Wetworks, we love a lot of that stuff from him. This has like multicam leaves, and it doesn't fit super snug, and that's on purpose because it's supposed to look like natural vegetation, and then you have enough space to throw more natural vegetation onto a helmet like this if you need to. So if you're worried about painting some of your gear, you don't have to in order to get a different color or a different shape or a different outline. You could go buy some Scrim.
All right guys, it's as simple as that. It doesn't have to be complicated. Spray painting your gear is an awesome way to change the camouflage properties of it and just help you blend in while you're LARPing. For us, we just had a lot of spray painting we had to do today. We brought you along for it, so it's kind of a win for us. Hopefully it's a win for you. That being said, I'm gonna go invisible since no one can see me now on my bike. And we'll catch you guys next week.
And now no one can see where this shot came from.